Next week is Christmas.
We can do it under old business and new business.
Well, happy new year anyway, but
Right,
I'll bring
on the
you up my
22nd, we
first
do
meeting
have that
time.
meeting on preparation.
You got a couple of the line items to choose from.
Yeah.
Suzanne helped.
See, I just didn't know, I just didn't bring it
Regular
to it
preparation report
because,
too.
you know, we were coming to the end of the year, and I thought that you guys wanted to hear from them before the end of the year. It's been 90 days.
Thanks for your help.
Oh, that's all right.
Jay?
Now, as far as,
All right, brother, how you doing? All right. He always works hard. My wife says that. There you go.
oh, I know.
I mean, after this weekend, look at
Oh, hey, we weren't recording.
Oh, we were? It was just so we could hear.
I'll tell you what. It was about that big round. So, yeah. They were figured out. Didn't go back. But yeah, look, I mean, I usually have a Band-Aid on it. I usually have now, I didn't, well, no, I didn't have a Band-Aid on it, so I went ahead and covered it up. I can't believe how good it looked. Did you see it when it happened?
That's an argument I'd want to make.
They talk.
Junk like that. I can't believe how good it looks. I wanted to put my bandage on, but I didn't want to look funny. You know?
That's the nickname I give him.
I've heard him called a lot
Good
of
looking.
things.
What's the Louis
Not Henry.
over there?
Other than Greg, other than
My neighbor calls him baby doll.
They lose games.
I've known him since he was 8 years old. I was a school aide and he was in the
That
same
might be
class.
about it.
So we had their names and had
Indiana would
Gregory
be a big
McAdams.
man.
I said something, I don't care, Gregory, don't call me Greg. I said, okay, Mr. McAdams, don't call me that. I said, okay, Henry. So he laughed at me. And every time I would check papers, they got 100, I put very good where the name was. One day I put very good anymore. He says, you never put Henry on there. I said, oh, sorry, I forgot to.
When?
So I always call him Henry. Jimmy, how you
I can't believe in the end it'll be a bigger one.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Hot shot shooters outside and behind
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yes.
Team money combined.
You get broken in. Your wonderful subject.
I did yesterday.
Nice to meet you.
I took it down at 4 o'clock. I was cussing it. Lord, I couldn't believe it. I could play better than that.
Me and Derby or something of that nature.
Hinge. Who's that beside you? How you been? I'm doing well, I'm doing well.
I know.
He's shining.
Did he say anything to you guys about? Hello. Barricades?
well,
The way it works, I don't.
I got bids,
I'm doing it. How about you?
I got checks, I got all kinds of stupid crap.
Hey, young lady, where you been? I haven't seen you for. Oh, no. All healed up?
I talked to Mike about it. He said he was going to wrestle for it. Yeah, the ownership
That's all
thing
we can
wasn't
do, 'cause nobody wants to
spelled
hear it
out.
otherwise, right?
You'll get one. old bandage or big old bandage because they say keep it covered. Well, the thing is, it was just, I mean, it was real deep. I mean, it was real deep. So, I'm happy.
How you been? Stay busy?
I'm okay. What?
I went to Christ.
Okay. Now, where'd my pen go? Here it is.
All right, nice to meet you. At first, they wouldn't sew me up, and then to Mexico. Trying to put it together to see the best way to do it, right? And finally, doctors checked it out. Sewed it up. And
Lake Myers with
She will be, yeah, she was here earlier. Yeah, she'll be here.
maybe he thinks he might want to open it up. Something else to do. So I got, I don't know, I feel like I got a good deal out of it because I was worried.
I like it, but it's just cost.
Yeah, it was a rescue.
Girls can build on.
Well,
Dad was saying, he told me.
JR, this is yours too, dear.
That was
It's nice to have
Is Aaron gonna be here? Huh? Oh, okay, no problem. I'll just. Saturday night was really nice, Johnny. Saturday night was really nice. I heard that too. I heard they were gonna have.
Yeah, me too. I was a little nervous, man. I thought, see, I haven't had a beard. And it's right on the show.
What's you doing here, Toots?
You know, I'm pretty happy with
Mike.
the work. I wasn't going to go up there.
What are you doing here?
My face and all.
Oh. Somewhere I got the ordinance and all that good happy stuff. I just don't know where. There's the agenda.
But since the meeting's in the minute, I've got a company I called that we already have a master service agreement with. They're going to come down and be with you and tell you what their services are and what savings they
I
can
forget
give
where. I
us.
know where you are on there.
I went ahead and forwarded the mother bills to them, copies of them so they can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe this week, whenever they call back, I'll give a shout.
All of the latest plays on. You said you, and I made copies for all of council. Or the law committee, whatever.
We can just give it a check.
Once you pass that,
I was gonna give it to him tonight.
That's fine. Well, two of them aren't here, but
Who's not here?
Lawrence and
Aaron?
Aaron.
Okay.
Julie, how you doing? We're doing okay. I'm doing well.
We can pass it.
That's all of the loans.
Right.
Up to date payments.
If it passes 3-0.
Okay?
Pass 3-0.
Doing all right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Where at?
Oh, thanks.
Well, they all came for you.
Thanks.
All right there on the corner.
That's the loan committee. All the loans are the up-to-date payments.
Okay.
I don't know what to say. I guess it's
Wow. Oh, yeah, I had one jump our neighbor's fence and came for you. Doing well, very good.
Maybe not.
I'm sorry. What?
That's what she said. Belong to the son?
I'll take this because Aaron's not here.
Yeah, I know she has a nephew.
Which surprises me because it's payday.
Right. That's better you than me.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
Ordinance when we did 3.5 and then 1.3.
Exactly. No, well.
Here, Mayor. Here's all the loans for Wednesday night. All the up-to-date payments, I'll print them off.
4.8.
Friday. Hi, no, hi.
They couldn't catch that screaming.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
All right, so is this coming up today? Okay. For what?
Hey, let me check.
Here,
Nope.
You touch me again, I'm killing you.
I didn't see it.
here's Allison's check too.
Okay.
Give me something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if we cover everything, that's what we're doing, right?
They're as of 2012.
You got the old one?
So you're staying on support?
I would ask man's pay.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever we can, right?
Yeah, well, it was cool. They enjoyed it. Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're big Tiger fans. So,
And Aaron,
oh, yeah.
our absent.
Yeah, she puts it out front. Yeah. I know we were gonna send
Yeah.
you a picture that night, but I couldn't.
They were on there.
Did you get that? Okay, I didn't think so. We were gonna. Yeah, yes, I saw that. Yeah, absolutely.
I already gave you one, but this is like an update.
I was gonna say, well, we're never gonna get out of here. Yeah, sounds like a plan to me. Oh, when we get to council, can we get to our honor early so we can go back to I don't know, I lost my agenda. It's here somewhere. Let me see. Here it is. I knew I had it.
Bill, is this information for our loan meeting?
Yes.
Somewhere.
Those
He's
are,
not.
it's like current
But he can-
payments,
you-
like up to
He said
date.
you wanted him to talk. Yeah, under old. Well, can't we get him on before old? So he can get home? He's got animals to take care of that hate each other. Yeah, well,
He's got one that I'm through him.
okay.
They're all right. Call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Parks Board.
Parks Board.
Member Jane Pope.
Present.
Member Bill Bruner.
Here.
Member J.R. Holcraft.
I'm here.
Member Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
Mayor Dennis Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approve minutes, previous meeting. I'll move.
I want to make one correction on the minutes, and I don't have them in front of me. They're in this other packet. On the Pope versus appeal, I did not vote. I'd just like that for the record. I should have said abstained, but everything went so fast
Okay,
that I did not vote.
I can fix that.
Okay, that's recognized.
I
Is there a
don't,
second for approval?
I wasn't here at the last meeting.
I'll make the motion to approve the minute.
Sorry, that ain't second.
just second it.
Second.
Okay, thanks,
All in
Jane.
favor? Committee reports. Hearing none, go to new business. Mike Clark, proposed fish stocking Amber Lake, Simon's Pond, Little Hill Park.
Thank you, Your Honor. We received a email from the IDNR. They've done their fish survey recently. Didn't have a lot of samples in their survey. They are going to continue to stock the pond with catfish this year, but due to retirements through attrition and funding, some of their other hatcheries are temporarily shut down. They made a suggestion that maybe we go ahead on our own and do some stocking with bluegill, red ear, and largemouth bass. In the package, you've got the rates and approximate cost. This is not a quote, but DNR supplied me with this cost from another part of the state, but we could restock the ponds, both of them up at Ludlow Hill Park for, approximately $2,100, and I wanted to see what this board has to say.
You have budget money on this?
Yes, there's money budgeted. I've looked at it today, Mike.
Okay.
There's like $5,000 budgeted for fish.
Per
So
fish?
no, for fish. No, not per.
Mike, I got a suggestion I'd like to make. To add to your list, flathead minnows, because we need minnows.
Well, we do, Jane, but unless DNR tells us, because we're under contract with them, that we actually have to get a permit to do this. What I can do is when I submit the permit, I can ask about the minnows.
Because we don't want the fish feeding on themselves. There has to be.
Yeah, and I agree, but we have to, if DNR says that we can, I would gladly get some minnows for both ponds for bait fish.
Okay, and I also suggest that we get the grass carp.
We can't.
Why not? Because they help maintain the
Because
growth and the algae.
DNR does not accept that species. We've talked to them about that before, and honestly, because their hatcheries are down is the only reason they're even allowing us to consider this, and the koi or the grass carp are not permitted in their maintained lakes or waters.
But there's a possibility we could get the minnows.
Yeah, I'll definitely include that in the permit, because even though they suggest it, we still have to submit and get permitted.
Why won't they allow the grass carp? I mean, that helps maintain the surface of the
Because
ponds.
there's some issues. They claim that they're sterile, but they're not, and they're actually considered an invasive fish species.
Okay, any more from the board? Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to move forward.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Getting off Kramer, Dukes of Hazzard.
Good evening. Thank you for once again allowing us to come here. The last time we were here, we were granted permission to use the fairgrounds on the 20th and 21st and Agner Hall with permission from Mr. Rudisil that he would work with us. He said that's the one date he cannot work with us. The show that he does that weekend is bigger than the other ones. So we went back and he said the only weekend that is best is August 8th. Our problem with that is there is somebody who has already rented Agner Hall on the 8th. And I've talked to this person, I called her personally, I asked her if I pay for another venue for you, can you move your thing so you're not out anything? And she said, let me think about it. And I called her back in a week and she said, no, we've got invitations sent out, we're sticking with it. So then we looked into it and apparently she is only renting Agner Hall, not the fairgrounds. So what we're asking permission to do is on Friday the 7th of August, rent out the hall and the fairgrounds and everything that we did before, the restrooms and everything, get the stage from you as we've all talked about. And then on the 8th, she can have Agner Hall and we'll have it roped off to where she can do her event, but yet we'll still have our event and we'll just move our celebrities into other buildings.
Anything, board?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Thank you very much. I do have one more question. You also have us on the agenda later under new business, I think on the last page. Would you like us to stay again for anything? I mean, I see you're very busy tonight.
Oh. It doesn't need to go before council, does it?
No, I don't need to.
No.
Okay, great. We'll get out of your way then. Thank you very much.
Thank you all very much, appreciate it.
Have good. Old business.
I just have one thing under old business, Mayor. It just has to do, I have forwarded, just so you guys know, on the Pioneer Hall,
I have forwarded that to Hamline Chapel. I think they're in the process of getting that reviewed by an attorney. I have talked to the Boy Scouts too. Obviously, right now, there is no agreement right now. They did say they were going to get with the clerk's office and try to get the first couple months of 2015 as far as any other events that might be happening there at Pioneer Hill. I think Suzanne talked to them. But
That could be, yeah, somebody in front would have.
But I just want to let you know, it's kind of, the ball's in their court, and so I will try to get an email out to Pastor Nichols this week, or if Mario, you have a chance to say anything to her, I'll try to bring that back to the next meeting.
Any more old business? Hearing none, review and discuss claims for lower approval.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned?
So moved.
Second?
Now, we've got
All in
two
favor?
meetings.
Aye.
2 meetings worth of claims to approve. Well, it's on everybody. There was no parks, was there a Parks Board meeting 2 weeks ago? Well, then there's 2 weeks of claims.
We're gonna have to reopen, you do the claims and. Let's reopen, entertain a motion for the second claims. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, sorry.
Board works 5 minutes.
No, utility, or they have Board of Works. Where's Board of Works?
Yeah, the board for
Oh, there it is, sorry. And it does have the same amount, almost. I mean, I think it's really close to what I gave you.
Okay, there's not gonna be 2 weeks on this one, because the Board of Works met 2 weeks ago, right? On council, yes. Somewhere.
Here you go. That's just the breakdown of everything. That one. This one. Let's see, it went.
I have a check for you, Donnie. I don't know where it
But
went.
this
Oh.
is the main thing. The reason we did it is so, this says basically it's not contingent on these parties. If they don't do it, then we want out of it, but we're trying to save this contract price. So.
Really want to try to get it approved.
Did I do with this?
Contingent on the rest of it, and they've agreed to do that, and they'll hold it open until March 20th of 15.
Pass this down to Jane, that's her mail.
Oh, Jane's not here.
There's a lot of things that want.
Oh, give it back, I'll do it.
That's yours.
That's mine, or
They're-
his? Quit! I'll
We're
smack
really not
you.
allowed to do anything because we signed
And
an
this
agreement for them
is
to come
Jackie, I got an
and
extra
stop.
copy since they didn't show up, so
Yeah.
you know what we're talking about.
Since,
Jackie, have a
Please?
since their fisheries or their hatcheries are shut down.
We don't have the money.
What they're suggesting that we file for a permit.
For Board of Works,
All right.
wait a minute, it's here.
1,500 things.
I wouldn't think they would have a problem with those, but I'll just have to ask and see.
There's Board of Works.
Is everybody ready? Call the Board of Works meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Okay.
But when they stop, they
Member Donnie Bryant.
Present.
Member Aaron Cook is not here. Member Bill Bruner.
Here.
Member Mario Todd.
Here.
Member Mayor Carr. Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
And President Mayor Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes, previous meeting.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Committee reports. Fire Department, Chief John Tremaine.
I don't have much tonight. I just passed out a newsletter a couple months behind, so that's all I've got.
Police Department, Assistant Chief Mike Lanning.
No report, Mayor.
Unusual. EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Yeah, I got my run totals for November, which is 122. And also, this being December of 2014. I just want to thank the board for working with Lawrenceburg EMS, approving the money for our new truck and the equipment upgrades we've done. Appreciate it. All of our members appreciate it. And want to wish Board of Work and Council happy holidays. See you next year, hopefully.
Thank you.
And hopefully we'll have a banner year as if we did this year. Thank you very much.
Well, I want to thank all three services. You guys do a great job. Thank your personnel too. They do a wonderful job themselves.
That's all I have.
New business. I think let's go to Carl. Carl, you have something?
Yes, sir. On one day last week, I didn't put the date down, we have a plank form that we started over there for our ordinance. And we had a gentleman come in and sign a complaint in regards to the theater building over here. Condition that it's kept in, looks of it. Went through our building ordinance, and it matches, in our unsafe building ordinance, it has a description for appearance. I took some pictures of the nails and stuff that are in the alleys. The gentleman's, I'd assume it was his, behind his car, loose nails and stuff, and I got those today. I'm going to need board give direction whether we go ahead and file our Unsafe Building Act upon it. Because keep in mind that it's not just the structure of the building that makes one unsafe. There's other parts of this ordinance that actually this building.
So you're saying it could be sound but yet unsafe?
I'm not even sure it's sound. I mean, I know there was a structural engineer in there and they gave a report back on the basement and the foundation. I've got some pictures today of shows a bulging wall, tin flying off of it into the parking lots. Safe. Our ordinance here, if it's a fire hazard, it's the public health.
Have you notified them? Have you notified them?
The owners? To the gentleman, he's in the audience tonight. Recommended that he be here if he wanted to make a statement, Mr. Kreider. And I told him it would be a board's decision for my findings. And I'll take it back.
This first, let's go through the board first, and we'll have Mr. Kreider talk.
Sure.
Marty, you have something?
Well, that's why I was going to ask if Mr. Kreider could address us.
Bill, you want to address it?
Sure. My name is Bill Kreider. I own the Liberty Theater along with my wife, Pat. We are aware that the building is not looking as good as it should. Like many buildings in downtown Lawrenceburg, it's not looking as good as it should. It comes down to finances primarily, but until this board or some other board provides at least a assistance in the form of a loan, it's unlikely that we can do it all that we would like to do. But in the meantime, we have, as Carl pointed out, we hired an engineer to assess the building. After it was indicated that the building was structurally unsafe, we determined, the engineer determined that in fact the building is structurally sound. However, the exterior, as we can all see if we drive by, is looking less than wonderful. We would like to take care of it, and we have had contractors look at it to determine exactly what it would cost to at least make the exterior look better. We do have a scope of work. We've received a building permit to do the work. We have actually started some of the work. I'm not sure who made the complaint, but part of the work was necessary because the foundation needed major repair in one section, probably caused by water from a neighbor. But regardless, that's been repaired. That probably caused the bowing of the structure or the wall. It doesn't actually affect the structure, but the wall itself, and therefore some of the nails may be popping out. So we're trying to take care of it. We have stabilized the basement wall, and we're still working on it. So,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Carl.
I'd like to make it plain that the city hired the gentleman to do the inspection on the work. That was one phase that we started with structurally. After we were told that structurally this section of the building needs fixed, Mr. Kreider at that point gave me a scope of work where we stand. That's why the building, I hired him. Nobody, the city hired the thing. Nobody else hired him. It came out of my fund. There was supposed to be a scope of work and stuff done. Now, I can understand anybody that lives next to it complaining. That's what I'm telling the board. My findings, because I believe it's been 3 months, very close to 3 months. No work on the exterior has been done. To be honest with you, I think it's time a decision needs to be made on this building. Set a time pattern, file the charges, or we don't file the charges. But they keep coming to me. It's not just one neighbor, but after digging in the ordinance, this is the way it says it's done. Unless I'm sent by the mayor or another city official to look at something in particular, citizens bring a complaint, then we go look at it. So we just don't target people until we go to find it. We get a complaint, it's signed, it's sealed. We had quite a meeting. It's time something needs to be done to the building. I have pictures here on the iPad if you would like to see them, and I'm not even sure they're necessary. But I took a picture of probably 25 to 30 nails from my pass through this alley to the back of the building to the left to a green Buick car that's sitting there. You all know me. I don't know anybody's names that's in this town. I wouldn't know this gentleman if he came up to me tonight. But I did go and take a look at it, and it meets our ordinance. Something needs to be done. The board needs to decide so that it's not me, personally, it's the board.
Mr. Kreider said there was water coming from the neighbors that's causing some of the problems. You witness or see any, or?
Did I witness it? No. I see Mr. Kreider's downspouts dump out. We talked about that when he done these repairs. And I said, don't move the water away from the building. We're still going to have this problem. The repairs we left, a small child, I'll be honest with you, I have a picture here, a hole in the back of the building that's get into. It's time to do something one way or another with the building.
What's your recommendations just to make it safe?
Well, the scope of work that he gave me, I thought this was all said and done, that we would never have this. The scope of work that he gave me was to patch up, start on the exterior of the building at the same time that we started the foundation. Well, you get one building permit and it's all on there. I mean, you say no if you want, but that was my understanding of it.
One thing has to happen after another, and if you fix the foundation and then you repair the exterior of the building. You don't do the exterior of the building, which has a bow in it, and then fix the foundation. So we have commenced the scope of work. It's just a very slow process.
That's not what I said. You fixed the foundation, now it's time to start on the exterior.
Correct. That's exactly what we're doing. We have quotes from a few contractors as to what to do with it, and we're assessing those quotes. But we have to do something that's reasonable and feasible. We're not rolling in money like some folks.
Did you bring in quotes with you?
I have a quote from one contractor.
Do you have a time frame of when you are anticipating on taking a bid and getting started?
We have 3 quotes that we're looking at. It comes down to return on investment. That's why it would be nice if the city had a loan program where we could, because I believe it's the city's building as well as mine. It's not just my building, it's the entire community's building. And it would be a shame if it was lost. But I think that apparently falls on deaf ears. But regardless, we'd like to get started as soon as we can. And in fact, we are in the process of doing it.
Can we go back to the first concern, though, is the safety side of it, correct?
Absolutely.
In saying that, you're talking about there's nails and metal in the adjacent property. I mean, what would it take to
I
get
think
that?
we can look at that immediately and try to resolve the issue of the falling nails, certainly.
I think that would be a minimum. Take care of nails.
The other thing we need to do is there's a bowing out because the foundation, of course, was not holding the wall, but it was partially holding the wall up, and since that foundation has been raised and lowered, a portion of the wall, a very small portion, about 16 feet, is bowing out, and that's where the majority of the metal and the nails are popping out, because wood flexes and pops them out. So but that's our first concern.
Well, with your own words, you've said it's a hazard and it looks bad and it's been bad a long time. Let me finish. You know, the people of Lawrenceburg that own these businesses stuff, they've made a good living off of them for years and years, and nobody has put any money back into them. They wait for the city to fork out this money all the time, and I just don't see it happening. I'm not willing to do it.
Well, I don't think this board doesn't have.
I think, Carl, what'd you say, he had 90 days already?
I mean, okay, so let's play this out. If we were to give our notice of any kind of unsafe building, most likely you would, under the statute, we have to give them so much time anyway, correct? To correct.
We would go through the same process, and then at that time, I would lay down, since this is the first one, when we actually have an unsafe hearing, we would come back in here, and then I would show you all these pictures, all the evidence that we have, because I'm sure the building has changed since the last time that I brought a structural engineer in there. Our code says fire hazard, which I have reports from the fire department, that it more than likely is a high risk. Has to be able to be occupied. I doubt seriously if there's heat in it.
Yes, there is.
Heat
Yes, have you've been in the building?
straight through all the holes, you can maintain a 68-degree temperature 3 foot off the ground?
I would guess so, yes. There are 2 large circular type heaters that did that
Highly suggest
quite
that
some
you fire
time.
them up so that we could check them. But we could maintain the heat.
There's no reason to heat the building. If it's essentially a warehouse at this point, there's no reason to heat it.
I'm just telling you what the code
But
is.
if you'd like it heated, we can heat it.
I think that before you would heat it, that you'd probably like to close it in.
Yes,
These are where I'm going with it. I mean, I know what you're saying there, and I understand fully what the complaints are. And I think after talking to you the other day, you fully understand what the complaints are. You're portraying a kind of a different thing here than you did with me.
I'm not, what do you mean?
Don't believe that we were talking about anything about you would fix it if the city had these grants.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that. We will attempt to fix it anyway, but it would be helpful. There are a lot of other, not just my building, but other buildings in downtown Lawrenceburg that are, and I'm not saying mine is, but could be unsafe or uninhabitable, et cetera, that if there was a loan program or a grant program, something where the money could be used, and then given back to the taxpayers with interest, some of these things could be resolved, but this board or some other board has not seen fit to do that. So as a result, we have to do what we can with the limited resources we have.
Just for the clarity, though, we're not authorized to do any type of loans or grants.
No, I don't expect this board to be the
So I guess to go back to Mrs. Votel's question, what's the procedure? You have 90 days to...
I would suggest that you go ahead and file the unsafe building. Have a hearing strictly between you and Mr. Kreider, and at that point, after you see the evidence...
It was a public hearing, though, right?
Well, but I mean... But
yeah, I understand what you're saying.
You would have a chance then to put stipulations. He would have to lay down at that point, these are my steps. As what we're talking right now, it's just, I said, she said, he said. Once it's filed, X amount of days, everybody knows the procedures. And you follow a timeline to getting it fixed, or it doesn't get fixed. You appeal or you don't appeal. So.
Do you see your decision being made with your contractors in the next 90 days?
I would think so, yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. And just for the future, if this is the way things are going to be handled, rather than it's a public hearing, that's fine, I don't mind that, but taking up time in this meeting to deal with a written complaint doesn't seem appropriate, but you can do it any way you want to.
Board of Works is the hearing authority of the unsafe building. I can't file an unsafe building unless they give me permission.
I'm just trying to, suggest efficiency.
We've had complaints on Citizens House, and we've took action on them that aren't as bad. I wasn't the one that made the complaint, but I surely don't like the looks of that building and the shape it's in myself. And the citizens really didn't have the income to take care of just trash and grass and stuff around their places, and we come down on them to clean it up because they was running other people's property value down. I would say we should move forward and...
Board could also give him an amount of time to do something too before he actually filed an unsafe building.
We are dealing with it, but
you could possibly give him 60 days, and if there's not been anything done, then look at doing the formal process. I mean, I don't know.
Substantially done.
I guess my concern is the safety side of it.
Right. I mean, it's at least all penetrations should be sealed. All loose metal should be attached or removed. Nails cleaned up. Those are our city trucks that are running across them every day too. I mean, those are some of the minimum things that I would see.
With those minimum requirements and 60 days?
That's Laurel's decision.
That's reasonable. What's up, the board?
Well, I don't want to come back in 60 days and the holes are sealed up with a patch. I mean, we're going to do it, we should see to it it's done right,
But if we do a time frame, obviously you would be checking, and if there's nothing done in 2 weeks, then,
2 weeks doesn't mean with that decision, you we'll be able to report back to you until 50 days. I don't know, 10 days they could do it.
Safety issue, these holes should be...
I'm talking about the minimum requirements. You could say, those need to be done within the next 2 weeks. I would hope the nails would be picked up tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely.
I would done immediately. That process when I report back to you our next meeting. Those things minimum be done, not 60 days. All that stuff done by the next meeting.
No, I think she was saying 60 days.
Before we commence any unsafe building hearings and all that, that's what I meant. Not necessarily just the safety issues.
I would like to do it the same way we've done everything else to show that we are taking action. that if it's not boarded up, I go ahead and board it up with the city employees like I did the other projects around town. Sure that it is boarded.
So you would do that from the gable down?
Whatever it takes. Really, 8 foot high is my main, where anybody could get in.
But loose metal would be from the roof line down.
Penetrations only. Loose metals would be used.
Cost gonna be bored there. Are they be passed on to the homeowner or what? Or
It's fine, we send them a bill.
what's the board wanna do?
Let's move to go along with Carl's suggestion.
A second?
And what was your suggestion?
Immediately seal the penetrations up, and by the next meeting that we have, all loose metals and stuff removed from the building and the nails.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Could you write that, email me or something on that? Thank you.
New business, Jeff Fieldhouse parking proposal.
Good afternoon. First, I wanted to start off with to talk about the current parking charge at the parking garage. It's been $1 since we've taken over the garage 10 years ago. And now with the event center, I feel that we need to raise the parking charge to $2. And then for special events, I would recommend charging $3 per car. With that being said, we charged $3 for the REO Speedwagon concert, and we did almost 300 cars, and not one person complained. And then we were told we can only charge $1 until it was approved by the board. And last weekend, we charged $1, and people couldn't believe that it was just $1 to park in the city parking garage. So I just want to get your thoughts on.
Okay, well, part of this, though, has to do with all the different agreements we have for the parking garage. Mario, help me out if I'm wrong.
Well,
We have,
There's as they know, there's 180 spaces dedicated to the event center.
correct, which are free of charge.
Correct.
That would,
When did that come about? That I've not seen that in a contract.
it's in a parking agreement with Hollywood when they own, when it gets transferred.
It was made available, but I didn't think there was a thing on there that we couldn't charge a fee. We had to reserve that money for their crowd, an area with that
Well,
money.
he's probably got a point. Language-wise, it's available.
Doesn't specify.
We're subsidizing so much over there. We got the doctors over there. We've
Yeah.
got Ivy
Partners
Tech.
in Health.
We need to start turning a profit on that thing.
Well, I mean, I know Ivy Tech, I mean, they charge their students, and I don't know if they charge their staff, but they charge their students.
They pay a flat fee to the city per month.
Right, but we're only still charging them $1, and so they're making money off of their students parking in our parking garage. Right.
Well, as long as they validate their ticket, if anybody validates their ticket, if you're going to Partners in Health or Ivy Tech, if your ticket's validated, it's free. If you don't have a validation, we charge you $1. We operate 22 surface lots and parking garages in Cincinnati, and $1 is unheard of.
That agreement is as old as the garage and the docks have been
Right,
there.
and we can still honor the agreement of validation, but it's the people that don't have the validations, the people that are going to the event center. I don't think $2 is too much to charge.
Oh, I agree.
I
And
think
special
the last time
events.
this was brought up, there was a motion made to bring that up for events to $5.
I was not aware of that.
I don't think it was
I thought it was
$5.
$3.
Please?
Yeah, I think it was $3.
I think it was 5.
I think there was talk.
But there was a vote, I think it was for the concert for REO was $3.
Right. I called in to see if we could charge $3 because I didn't feel there would be a problem. It went over well. Not one person complained about paying $3. But then last weekend, when we charged $1, we did 117 cars for the Lori Morgan concert, and now everybody said $1. They were shocked.
I was at the RO Speedwagon concert. I walked across the street with a lady, said, for $3, we're gonna pay $3 to park and walk across to get your car.
It's true.
Right.
No, you know, on these contracts, some of this language, even the doctor's office, we gotta provide so many spots, but it don't cover that we cannot charge all these spots.
That
Something.
I'm not
We're
familiar with
subsidizing
that
so
one.
much over there, we're maintaining that thing, and there's taking more employees now.
Well, I
We
agree.
need
I don't
to-
think the Partners in Health one we can touch.
Please?
I don't think the Partners in Health thing we can touch. Their agreement is pretty,
It was 50 years.
Well, can we get a copy of
Yeah.
that contract for the next meeting? For
Was
the-
there openers
the
at all
whole
in there?
parking garage.
Was there any openers at all in that agreement with the doctors?
No. Not for 50 years.
Didn't they change management, though? The whole doctor's office in general? I mean,
I think it's the same principles.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason is that we wanted them to come downtown.
Right.
And at the time, we were making the revenues we were making, and now that's
And-
not the case.
But we can still honor that part of the agreement. I'm talking about the people that are coming in for special events. They're used to
And I think
coming
we still
from
ought to look at
Kentucky.
that language.
Please,
Because we do get 90, well, how much do we get per month from them?
8,000 per month.
8,000? And we get how much from the school per month?
The school is the 8,000 per month.
Okay, the school is 8,000. We don't get anything from
Nothing
Partners in
from
Health.
Partners in Health. Nothing at all.
And we maintain probably 80% of the structure.
But there's enough space in the garage to where this, raising the charge is not going to hurt them, because a lot of that is during the day. My pitch is just mainly for the weekends, when there's a lot of people going over there, especially people that come from Ohio and Kentucky. It's not Lawrenceburg residents that are coming to the event center. They're used to paying $3 to $5 to $10 to $15. People look at me when I said $3. Oh, wow, that's it? And it's just time. I think we need to implement it now before we get too far with the event center. People are going to get used to it being $1, and then if we change it a couple months down the road, then they're going to say, well, why'd you change it?
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't, if the board will allow us to look at all the contracts, and we've done this, we've looked at the contracts, but it's not been recently, to get a synopsis of how everything's structured with all the contracts we have with Partners in Health.
Yeah, I'd
and
like to see the
Tech.
board get a copy also.
Yes. And then the new parking agreement, like I said, that's going to be executed, actually, it's being held in escrow and will be effective once we transfer ownership to Indiana Gaming Company. We can also look at that one.
Have you made any valet agreements or arrangements yet with the event center, with Hollywood?
We're charging $3 per car to valet park at the event center. But what I thought would be reasonable was to take that away from the 180 spaces that somehow was giving to the event center, because we also had to give 30 monthly passes to all the administrative staff. So,
Donnie's got a point. We have to look at the verbiage, though, of that
right,
100 spaces.
because I thought it was just we had to reserve them 180
That
spaces.
was my understanding also.
So when I gave them the 30 monthly passes, I took that off of the 180, so now they're down to 150. And then every time we valet a car, we take that off as well. So we're trying to make the city money, but we're never going to make the city money charging $1 per car.
Oh, I agree.
And I think
180 spaces probably due just for planning and zoning for the structure itself, a lot of spots, correct?
Yeah, I think that was the minimum
Oh,
parking
I
that
see.
they needed.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
But in the meantime,
Raise it $3 for them and look into the other stuff for concerts?
I think you guys could raise it to 2 and then 3 for special events. We just, like I said, just need to see how they coincide with the other contracts.
So do you want to get those available to us, or you want to go ahead and make a motion
Sure, I mean,
contingent to? or-
you guys would have more, you would have more information about all this. We did review all of it recently, around budget time, or right before budget time. So, I mean, I have all the information together. I just, in dealing with all the rest of the contracts for the event center right now, I do think you're right, though. It does say reserve 180.
Just reserve.
So we need to see.
I think the hospital falls under the same, or the doctor's office falls under the same thing. I would like us to all take a good long look at that.
I'm pretty sure that the Partners in Health one was pretty, I don't know that we can do anything with that one.
With that many people moving around over there and the equipment we gotta furnish and keep the sidewalks and stuff clean in the winter and stuff, the riverboat money's going down, I&M's closing, we need some money coming in to turn this thing around.
That's why I think we need to do this now. We can still work around the contracts until you figure the contract part out, but all these special events that are coming up, there's no reason why we can't charge now and start making the city some money on that garage.
Partners Hill's not gonna be there when you're doing the concerts anyway.
No.
No, they're gone by 5
So their spots
o'clock.
are available to make the money.
And once again, they get a lot of validations. If you were to go see a doctor, you get your ticket validated. When you hand it to us, we put it in. If it's validated, it's free.
There's nothing that, we couldn't say, for the doctor's office parking, it would be $1, for that portion or something. We can word this thing, but we do need to clean it up and find out what we got.
Well, last year, there was a total of, almost $50,000 worth of free parking given away from Partners in Health and Ivy Tech with ticket validations.
And your recommendation is $2 on the average, $3 for special events?
$2 on average and $3 for special events.
That's cheap.
And it's still cheap.
For special events.
It is.
That's very cheap.
Les, can we go ahead and make that motion passing
Because
tonight?
these special events, most of the people that's gonna use that thing are from out of town, and they pay $15, $20 to park.
Exactly.
Any place else they go. Our local people are gonna
Yeah.
walk to it, or, they know where to park local and get away from it
We
all.
set the dollar price to begin with. I mean, there was
I
nothing.
don't think we should, I think we
There's
should
no
go to
ordinance that said it.
$5 on the
There's no
special
ordinance on it,
event.
I know that, so.
So we don't have to come back here later, thinking, boy,
Well,
Put in motion,
I would so move to put it $5 for special events,
$2 during the day.
$2 during the day.
Second?
I'll make that second contingent to reviewing the contract as long as it doesn't infringe or breach any.
Okay.
Is that okay, Donnie?
And you
That'd be
said
fine.
$2 and $5?
The special events, yes.
$2 regular and $5 special events. All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All against? You said something about the surface lots too.
yeah, there was some concern that there was a lot of people that were parking on the surface lots across from the garage. You have 2 lots that are directly across on Short and High Street. So this is just a preliminary proposal to throw it out there. We can put an OtterBox up that we use on our lots down in Cincinnati and start manning those lots for special events as well. Because a lot of people are parking in those lots and we have to sit at the garage and wait for those lots to fill up. And then we start getting cars into the garage and they're not manned. So what we would like to propose, and I think everybody has it in front of them, it's just a preliminary, you can play with the numbers, you can charge whatever you like. I just did a basic proposal.
Well, I wouldn't want something like this to interfere with our downtown street festivals we have, because that's mostly for
It
trying
would
to
never,
draw
you would have
business to
full
the
control to tell me,
businesses.
Jeff, we need the 2 parking lots for Friday and Saturday. It's not like I'm gonna, hold you to it. It's just during these events, when they sit empty, I'm just watching all these people park for free and
Even
even
we
though,
could block these off during our events or needs, correct?
right, we could just put a cover over the top of them. We have covers, which will hide it. And then on days that we want to charge, we can take the cover off and then you would just pay by number, or we can put one of our attendants that are across the street over at the lot and charge until it's full.
Now, is one of them that one across from the firehouse?
It's the one next to the firehouse.
Next to the firehouse too?
Just
Yes.
next to?
And then the one across the
Then
street by
across
the
street, But
garage.
the one across the firehouse is not affecting it. You're not asking the good.
No.
Well, I mean,
The one he's talking about is next
Both
to
of
the
them
firehouse,
across,
not
One
across.
firehouse, one across the
What
street.
about it?
See, what's happening too is a lot of people that are up the street, they're charging for parking as well. Because the directions to get to the event center have you come down Walnut Street. So some of the people that own those lots, they're paying $5 to park in those lots. And then when they get to the event center, they don't realize that there's a parking garage right next to the event center. So with that being said, somehow it needs to be advertised through either the event center or through your website that there's a parking garage right next to the event center. To get onto another note, I watched the Walnut Street the past 3 weeks. You can't find a parking spot on Walnut Street. And the reason with that being is people come down Walnut, they see the event center, and they just pull into a parking spot.
Bit hard to control that.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, there are signs, but there is not a whole
My
lot.
suggestion,
2-hour parking,
my suggestion would be to take the 2-hour parking signs and turn them into 30-minute parking signs, just as a deterrent for people that are out of town from Ohio and Kentucky. So if you were to pull up and you see a sign that says 30-minute parking and you're going to the event center, it would deter you from parking there for 4 hours. Because I know some of the businesses around here are going to have to be upset. Saturday, you couldn't find a parking spot on Walnut Street. And then I also, we run a lot of parking lots, once again in Cincinnati, and I think if you could give some of your citizens these stickers, they're like mirror decals. You can issue some of these just to patrol some of the streets, where if you live on Walnut up by the condos, you can hang these from your mirror, and it could say the city of Cincinnati and or the city of Lawrenceburg, and say that it's decal parking only. And if you would like to look at these, all they do is they go right on the windshield.
We actually just, didn't we just,
We've been through that.
didn't we repeal that ordinance?
Yeah.
We just did repeal it.
It's not a new issue.
So it would take an ordinance, though, to enforce this, correct?
Yes.
Well, our attendant that sits in the booth looks right at those lots all night long. And I've been working the past couple events, and I mean, I have no problem monitoring the lots while I work in a nice manner. It's just, I hate to just see people park for free, and then it takes, I think there's a total of 120 parking spaces for them to fill up until we start getting cars in the parking garage. And we felt that Saturday, because we only did probably 25 cars Saturday night, because the street was full and those two parking lots were full.
But them cities, this city we own, and we got something, we planning to build something there in the future?
Yeah, it went in a period, we do what we
Well,
want.
so that just needs, we just need to get that back on the,
But it's just.
These are just some ideas.
First concert, you blocked them off, didn't you? When they blocked off?
You blocked off one of them for an event that was going on, or somebody was using them the next day.
Yeah, they was parking a tractor trailer.
Yeah,
for an
yeah.
event or something.
And then we had to make room for the buses and the stuff for the concert, or for our REO Speedwagon. They parked their trailer and their bus there.
but you're right, it would take an ordinance in order for us to do the other lots. The pay for special events, parking, makes a lot of sense.
Well, that's just an idea, and those numbers are not sound by any means. I just wanted to give you an outline that you can go off of. If you want to decide on something, you can make it whatever you like. And what you brought up, Mr. Bryant, was if you ever need it for anything, we're not going to say, no, you can't use it because we're in control of it. You would make the ultimate call whenever we needed to use the boxes.
The lot to the south, up there on the corner of New, we'd have to look at that, because there's some logistics with that lot, as far as ownership, adjacent property.
Yeah, they got like 20 foot of it. I just hate to get into this, the citizens, and we went through this stuff before, and whoo, was it a...
Well, you don't have to do it everywhere. I'm just talking about like some of the condos that you have up here and some of the people that live on Walnut. It's just a matter of changing the verbiage of the sign. Decal parking only, or even changing the signs from 2 hours to 30 minutes. Not saying that none of the citizens of Lawrenceburg can't park there for 2 hours, but just a deterrent on Fridays and Saturdays. So if you pull up...
Let's try to just do better signage and get some stuff on the websites about the garage, and do better guidance to guide people down there for a while and see how, if we can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we
do it a
can,
little
we
bit
can
better
get the,
This is a,
the two lots and the parking, for special events on the agenda for the first meeting in January. For council.
We'll look at that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Jackie Stubbs, Tiger Hall floor rehab project quote opening.
There were 2 bids on Agner Hall floor rehab. The first one's from Maxwell. And, let's see. The amount is $58,100. The second one is from Phillips Supply. And it's for $36,500. Mike, I'm sure you want to look at these, right?
Yeah, I would ask the board if they could to make a recommendation to award this pending final staff review and approval. And if you do so, then upon that staff review, authorize me to go ahead and execute the contract.
So what's the rehab consist of?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Stripping the floors down, there's some cracks in the concrete to seal and repair those, and then to...
Talk louder into the mic or something.
And then to refinish the floors all the way through the building.
As in refinish, as in...
Recoat.
Recoat with the
epoxy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We definitely don't want to end up with it too slick. I remember the last time, I worked a couple of events over there, and last time it was done, we had people almost falling. It was so slick.
Well, this has a coefficient finish to it, in other words, it's supposed to be flawless.
But for that size area, I mean, does this seem...
Yeah, we got some early quotes, or I didn't, but I was forwarded some earlier quotes, and it was in the ballpark, and we actually added a little bit more work to the specs on what the contractors were bidding on. So it came in pretty close to what I was expecting.
That include the bathrooms and the freezer area too behind?
Not the freezer.
Bathrooms?
Any place that is surfaced now, just like the table and chair closet, the bathrooms, all that's included in this.
That walk-in box needs something done to it.
Well, that's why we held off of doing the floor.
Yeah, because I think we may need to do more than just floors for that walk-in
The
box.
floor needs addressed too.
It needs to be a slicker finish so it can be cleaned better.
Yeah.
What's the board want to do?
That's a move, go with the Phillips.
Your second?
That's pending staff review, correct?
Yes.
Approval.
All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Ayes have it. Got your Stetson comments?
Somewhere. In your package should have been a list of encumbrances, as I've lost mine, for the unfinished projects line. And I need that approved by this board.
Is that why Tyler's here?
Oh, there it is, okay.
Is that why you're here?
No, Clark did this. It comes to $192,054. That's without the event center closeout, and we're working on what that's gonna be. But we wanna carry these over to next year because they're projects that aren't done. And, you know, we need to, instead of just digging into next year's budget, carry this money over so we can get it done.
And some of them are done, it's just retainage also for,
You what?
some of it's retainage for
Oh,
the
okay.
contractor.
Yeah, there's like one or two that's retainage.
The clock tower, is that...
That was executed last week.
So it's done,
So,
right?
no, it's not done,
I
no.
thought you said half, or some of it, half of it?
Partial.
Partial.
The electric,
Okay.
the electrics. And they're gonna start on the bells and.
But you need them to vote for even the event center closeout.
Yeah.
That's for whatever monies there are
Yeah, the
to encumber.
Event Center, never had a formal budget through the big budgeting process. So really the riverboat line items, essentially what's happening here with an encumbrance, there's appropriation left, and there's either a purchase order or a contract that has been earmarked for those dollars in this year's budget. The checks won't be dispersed until January, but the costs essentially been committed to in this year's budget.
I got a whole stack of them.
Encumbrance, you're essentially moving dollars from 14's budget to 15, so that what 15 was budgeted for is still all available. The event center, essentially what that is any cost that's left to be incurred will be encumbered as a part of the overall project agreement going back to 2011.
In the past, there was a line item for unfinished projects, which we've done away with, correct?
And this is Board of Works.
Yes.
Council.
That's,
What's the board want to do?
I would so move.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against?
Neighbors?
Let's go to our release for LPD.
Jane has something.
I just got a question for Tyler. Does that have to also be approved by council?
No.
State board, essentially it's been approved by council. To be double safe, we could have city council approve it as well. State board's never taken issue with the Board of Works
If they don't.
encumbering it. It would essentially be a double approval.
Thank you.
Thanks for explaining that.
Okay, Leslie?
In your packets, there is a release. Proximo is offering the buildings that they bought on the 200 block of Main Street for our police officers to do some training, and until they're demolished. But this is just basically a release of all claims that Proximo is requiring us to do, so that if someone gets hurt, it's not on their dollar, it would be us. So I just need a motion so the mayor can sign it.
I would so move.
I'm sorry, that's going to be done on the 18th and 19th too.
I'd so
Done with the
move.
motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Old business.
It's also me. Can you sign both of them, please? Thanks. Should I just get that to you tomorrow? Okay, thank you. Also in your packets, there was if you remember, we had a joint meeting with, an informational session really for Spillman. They are a public safety software provider. This was supposed to be a joint venture with Lawrenceburg Police Department, Lawrenceburg Fire Department, Dearborn County Sheriff's Office, Aurora Police Department, and Greendale Police Department. What I have given to you guys tonight at the meeting is, it does have the same quote. I think there's a difference of $14 to the better. But what this is, if you look at the small print on that first page, we didn't want to agree to anything because these other entities have not agreed. However, Spillman is agreeing to keep these same prices, the 2014 prices, if we reserve it and pay for it, or not, I'm sorry, not pay for it, if we reserve the prices and everyone else does what they need to do by March 20th of 2015. As long as, we do what we need to do, the Aurora and Greendale and Dearborn County all agree to this by that March 20th, then the contract's good. If it's not, then we're not bound by this contract.
Well, I think he was trying to get Harrison and St. Leon, and a few others, aren't you?
We're still checking into that, yes, of smaller agencies on exactly what they pay now for the emergency system we have.
And all of them will get a little piece of this pie, right?
Correct.
It just doesn't make any sense. If you look at that first paragraph, on the comparison sheet, if we were to do this on our own, and that's through the fire department and police department, it'd be approximately $580,000. With this way, the total price for everybody is $797,000. So basically, all this is doing is saving the price for us for the 2014 prices. And like I said, if those other entities do not come through and do what they need to do, then we're not obligated any further.
And where's the language that spells that out?
It's right,
Small print.
yeah, that's small print there.
So we won't be paying any money unless all departments agree.
Exactly. Should any of the organizations fail to secure funding or execute a binding interlocal agreement committing to the payment of their obligation, this contract will be considered null and void. But everything's got to be done by March 20th. And then thereafter, let's say, the county, for some reason, the county, or whoever, decides, they want more time or whatever. The problem is that it'll be more expensive at that point.
Right, basically what we ran into now is we're coming up on the first of the year. Of course, all the budgets are in. So the other agencies have committed that they're going to jump on board, but they need to go to their respective councils and appropriate funds for their share of the project. With us signing this, it keeps the price at the original price quote they gave us of the $700,000 into 2015, whereas if we wouldn't sign this or come to an agreement, there's a possibility that price could raise, and then we're back to square one.
And it does say subject to approvals and appropriations in here, so, this money has not been appropriated, so it is something that we would have to do with city council as well.
But we're clear on the more that come aboard on this.
The more that come aboard, yes, the lower the price could be.
Ours
yes,
is going
correct.
down. And we get a
Finally, somebody's paying their share, we won't have to pay it all.
Correct.
That's if they hop on.
But I thought the Spillman people did come and meet with us, and, I told them absolutely if no one else, and, if no one else does do what they need to do, then, yeah.
I believe, not to interrupt, but I believe that Spillman's reps are going to be and Andy Doyle, he's here now. They're coming down for, have they been dates set, Andy, for the meeting with Aurora, Greendale councils and everybody
Yeah,
that?
they were gonna do it,
tomorrow,
tomorrow.
but that got pushed back till after the first year.
They're still looking for a date where they can.
Oh, I thought these meetings were already going on.
Well, they have to go back to the respective councils and ask for appropriations. They're coming down to do a presentation for Aurora's council, Reedale's council, and anybody else that would like to go and see exactly what it is again. It's been a while since that presentation took place. I'm just throwing that out there in case any of you would want to go. Not saying you have to, but they're going to do a presentation for them as well for the appropriations on that side of it.
Should have did this before the end of the year.
We tried to get this pushed back at the beginning of the year, Mayor, when this all started, and unfortunately, we're here, yeah. Not a lack of trying.
Yes, you would need to sign it as the...
Entertain a motion?
I'd so move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Ayes have it.
I'll print it. Save it and everything for it.
Should be about it.
That's all I have.
Okay. Review and discuss claims board approval.
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion, John?
So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Utility board, 5 minutes. Thanks, sir.
How's Bradley doing?
Yeah, we will. I can get it on the agenda. It'll be that first Monday in January. I don't know the date offhand. Let me see here. The 5th. Yeah, I can get you on the agenda. It would be the, well, in order to put those on those lots, we have to have an ordinance to our, an amendment to our parking ordinance, and that's council. So, it would be at the end, you know what I mean? So if you're not here right at 6 o'clock, it's not a big deal, because we have all these 3 meetings ahead of that, but. Thank you.
They make these changes over here.
Need to be over here.
We're gonna be,
Oh, the encumbrances?
make a $1,000.
Well, I'm just going by what our experts are telling us. They're the ones that brought it up.
And that's great. You know, and that's why it was.
I'm sorry?
Just because initially.
Yeah, I mean,
we haven't even seen it.
But that's what everybody's saying. We're spending.
That's the money that's gonna go back into the bank.
But we're getting X amount of dollars. I've been waiting for
when we sign those contracts, that's
it's actually about $56,000. We don't collect a year. But, and that's fine because council did that as a subsidy to get them over. So if we get within $56,000 of breaking even, we're operating free of charge. But they raise the prices. That money, they go in his pocket, goes back to the city. He's getting paid X amount of dollars no matter what. If nobody parks here, he's still getting paid. It's just what they take in. They take it in, they direct it.
I've got a question for you. There's a receipt here. Well, if you give me a copy of that.
Sure. No, but let's see here. Go ahead and give you, let me fill this out.
I don't give those out, those are probably the other, I don't know what the, I don't have them.
So, we only sign this, so as long as you have an extra copy.
Some of them I looked at.
Right.
I know, but I remember what I gotta do to you first.
This is actually.
You figure out how to get it.
Board of Works. The only thing I thought about, what if the council doesn't appropriate this? Because it's a different board. I mean, it does say section 2 appropriations in there, just so you know. We're not always on the same page. Right. Who's doing it? All right. So there's okay. You're welcome. Thank you. Oh, okay.
7025.
But he didn't have the money in state, right?
Yeah, he wants to talk about something else.
End of the year.
It's not in your package.
I know. I hear you. Hey, I'm going to water to get into it.
Hey, Donnie. Donnie Bryant.
Right.
No, I don't know what it is.
And because it's between those, we don't need an ordinance transferring it?
We only had 25,000 budgeted anyway.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Again, that's a different.
And you got the one for, and what you got the one for the 1.3 and the, okay.
This could be your check.
Okay. So, this 3 million thing is what's concerning me, I don't know what the hell. So you're saying that it's never got appropriated?
I know, I've been doing it all the time, you know, all this road usage, all the time. We know what to do.
Because Lisa would be the one probably to talk about it too. Yeah, Lisa Lee. Because she's the one that did all of our ordinances and everything. Make sure.
Got two buddies loving, I don't know, oh, man. I mean, no, I know, we both got the tips and chimneys. I mean, they're getting, yeah, I get it, and I come back to and say, okay, you guys, yeah, chief, that was it. I didn't work. Well, I never would. Oh, thank you, Jackie. You know, I ain't lying to you. I knew it was going to come back up. I just, because I can't, and I got no money budgeted next year. And then you can't, after I paid $7,000 for design,
Can't even eat.
I got no control. You get parts from there to council.
They're working on the change.
We'll sit down and talk. You know, I ain't never sworn at you ever, but it's getting close. I see calling balls way up. How you doing, Mario? Doing fine. Good.
Yeah. I mean,
you're looking better these days. You're looking a lot better these days. You're looking better than you did earlier today. No, I seen him.
Oh, he don't look good like this.
Bring it.
Here, man.
There you go.
Hey, do you remember what line that 2 million public works side was in back in 13? Didn't grandfather do it? All right.
That's funny. That's funny.
Annex plan for Lawrenceburg?
Yeah, well, healing up really good.
Oh.
It's a conversation piece, it's gonna be out for sure. Yeah, hey, I'm doing exactly what the doctor said. I'm amazed though how far it's come along. I mean, you would, if I showed you a picture from 2 years ago, you'd be surprised too.
There is parking regulations.
Hey, I guess being young has its benefits, right? Yeah. Hey, I'm 40. Not a young person.
I don't want to hear it. Okay, we ready?
Call Utility Board meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Member Jane Pope. Present. Member Aaron Cook is absent. Member Bill Bruner.
Here.
Member Mike Lawrence is absent. Member Jared Holcraft.
I'm here.
Attorney Leslie Votaw. Here. Utility Director Olin Clausen.
Present.
President Mayor Carr. And myself.
Any announcements? Hearing none, approve the minutes of previous meeting.
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports.
Thank you, Your Honor. In your packets, you'll find a draft report that I put out titled Lawrenceburg System-Wide Outage Report. What this is in reference to is the outage that we experienced, us in Greendale, on the 10th of December. Started about 4:30 in the morning, went to 7:45. The cause of the outage lies with Duke. I won't get into the particulars about it, but it has to do with their PT metering, their metering for the systems, and the fact that we're tied together at that station. So any occurrence that we have or any interruption that we have at that station, we're subject to. So is Greendale. We're kind of in that together. There has been some talk. I've gone back into the city records and I've pulled from 2012 on all of the minutes for the utility board meeting, and I found 4 documented cases where Duke Energy has caused outages on our system and sometimes Greendale's as well. That's a particular concern to me because when it comes to the reliability reporting as part of the due diligence for some of these big businesses that may want to come in or may want to relocate, we are required to report those outages in a sense that it reflects negatively on our reliability. I am working on a project that began before I came here. It's a 138 kV transmission line that will go from Duke's system to the Hollywood substation that I hope to have some more information on as far as some timelines, things of that nature to report to this board that will not only alleviate some of these issues that deal with this joint bus in Greendale, but it also provides some direct savings to the city. I listed it here in excess of $250,000 a year. The number's actually north of that. The annual savings of about $22,000, maybe up to $25,000 in facility charges that we would no longer have to pay. So, more on that later. The second thing in your packet I'd like to draw your attention to are the 2 balance sheets that I've provided. One, the only difference in them is you'll see one has a cash balance of $659,611.07. That is actual as of these documents being put together and prepared for this meeting, i.e. Wednesday. The second one will show you a deficit of $360,786.74. If you look up on the balance sheet, 4th line down, 4th item down, you'll see a withdrawal of $1,038,000. That is the check that IMPA is holding because of some of the financial issues we're currently having in the electric utility.
We owe that money. That money was due as of the 9th. They have been kind enough to hold that for us to keep us from going into the red so that we can make payroll, fund pensions, things of that nature. We are going to hold I think we're scheduled to have a special meeting on the 22nd that will deal with some ways to fund some of these issues and get us through the next few months until some of these issues can be resolved. The third sheet that I'll draw your attention to has the graphs on it. And for the benefit of those in attendance, the figures that I'm going to be giving today, these can be sourced on the internet. These are all verifiable numbers. And any one of you can come into my office and we can talk about these numbers anytime you'd like. But the total number of meters, not the total number of residents, but the total number of meters that we currently serve in the Lawrenceburg utility is 3,470. Now, if you get into the aggregate of that, 23 of those are classified as industrial customers. 595 of those are classified as commercial customers. What that means is 1% of our total customer portfolio is made up of an industrial customer. That's important to know because 63% of all utility costs the city bears are that 1%. So 1% of our customer base pays 63% of the costs. If you add the commercial in with the industrial, that makes up 18% of the aggregate. So commercial and industrial together, excluding residential, makes up 18%. 18% of the aggregate pays 78% of all utility costs of power. The residential customers in this aggregate are 17%. So 17% of these 3,470 meters are residences. Of that, they generate 15% of our revenue. That's important to understand because if you look at these numbers and you understand that we're currently selling electricity for less than we're paying for it, the more large customers we bring on board, and that should be the goal for every city, is to entice business, correct? We want to bring businesses in, we want to bring industry in. The more we do that, the larger our deficit becomes because we're selling more power to them at a loss. So the more business we bring in, the more we lose. The other thing that's important to understand is we're currently being subsidized right now from other funds in the city. Well, if you look at who's being subsidized, it isn't the 18%. They are, but who's really benefiting from the subsidies is the 78%, or if you want to say the 63%, which are very large businesses that are for-profit businesses. They are receiving 63% of those subsidies. The very large industrial customers and the commercial customers combined are receiving 78% of all those subsidies. So to put that into a monthly figure, if we're running at $100,000, just pick a number, $100,000 deficit per month, $80,000 of that is going towards industrial and commercial customers. $20,000 of that is going to help the average citizen. And with that, I'll stand for any questions.
Any questions, audience? Podium, please. State your name.
Paul Seymour.
Local resident.
Paul Seymour, local resident. I've heard a lot in the past that we don't want to pass cost on to the homeowner, I think is who we're referring to. But I think with what you just explained to me is that most of this cost, if we can catch up and not go in the hole every month, will be put on the backs of people who are making money off of your electric.
That's correct. And so I've had conversations with some of these large, actually one of the largest utility customer in our system. I sat down with them, I explained to them what the implications would be with the proposed rate increase. I showed them what that dollar figure was, and their response was, not a problem. We can figure that into our cost of doing business. They understand what the alternative is. To not conduct ourselves in a way that allows us to be fiscally responsible and fiscally sound, it jeopardizes all of the benefits that you're supposed to have and enjoy with a municipally owned utility. I also highlighted to him what those costs, and just so you know, the cost of power for this person with the proposed rates would have been about $6,000 per month. That same customer with those same loads, those same demands on Duke's system would be an added $22,000 per month. So you can see why they look at these numbers and say, hey, I have a $6,000 swing just in the ebb and flow of my month to month currently. Sometimes our production's way up and I have a $10,000 increase in my utility rate. Sometimes it's down. So they're already seeing ebbs and flows that are indicative of this rate increase. What they're not seeing is a rate increase that would account to $260,000 per year. And that is important to understand because, again, with economic development, when you want to entice companies and bring them in, $250,000 a year in savings is a huge feather in our hat. It's something to help us bring those businesses in and to and also to encourage them to invest. Proximo's getting ready to invest. I would think that if they were facing $250,000 per year increase in their electric costs, it may change their appetite for investment, possibly. Something else that's important to understand is when the utility sets rates, and you get into the heart of those rates, what those rates say is, we as a utility promise that we can not only serve you, the customers, at this current rate, but we also have enough money built into that rate that we can maintain, repair, and extend services to you, the customer. And currently, we cannot say that. So we are not technically being honest with our customers. Our rate does not reflect honesty in our customers in that sense.
Any more to the audience? Any more?
No, that's it. That's it for me.
Okay, we go to new business. See none? Old business? Any old business?
No, sir.
Okay, we got 2 sets of claims we have to approve tonight. You discuss claims, board approve.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Aye.
Yes? Okay, we got a second set.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pledge allegiance to the flag. One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Yeah, as soon as I find it. Member Jane Pope.
Present.
Member Aaron Cook is absent. Member Bill Bruner.
Here.
Member Mike Lawrence is absent. Member J.R. Holcraft.
I'm here.
Okay. Assistant Police Chief Mike Lanning.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Here.
Attorney Leslie Votaw.
Here.
Utility Director Owen Clausen.
Present.
Mayor Carr.
Here.
And myself.
Have any announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes, previous meeting.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? All against?
Jackie, on those minutes that I wanted you to correct, it wasn't the park board minutes, it was the city council minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, you need to do a different motion then.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it in that was for parks.
Yeah.
You so moved, Chuck?
So moved.
So moved with the corrections to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? The committee reports.
Okay.
Streets, all and curbs, Aaron's not here. Finance report, there,
No
Joe?
report.
Fire department, Bill Bruner.
No report.
Police department,
No report, Mayor.
fire chief,
Nothing further, Mayor?
EMS director.
No further report, Mayor.
Mayor, I got a comment on streets, alleys, and curbs. Getting some complaints about the tree trimming, that they're trimming the hearts out of the trees. And people are afraid that the trees will be damaged or are being damaged. And
Give me a person's name, phone number, I'll call them on. Have to be. New business, I'm gonna bring Tyler up in Munball, he's just got a report to do, he's gotta drive back to Indianapolis, so we can get him out of here.
Thank you, Mayor. My name's Tyler Blake. I work at Humboldt in Indianapolis. We're a financial advisor that works with the city. We were asked to look at the Event Center Fund as it's coming to a close, the project. The building's down there and I believe is now open. Going through the records, we see there was an ordinance in 2011 that authorizes the appropriation and transfer of $49 million from non-reverting redevelopment funds to the Event Center Fund. After looking into the history, 35 million of that 49 has been transferred. An additional 14 million needs to be transferred to the Event Center Fund before the end of the year to kind of bring things to a close. This represents the redevelopment loan. The city will be earning 4% interest on it, which is more than you get at a bank. So that's an item that we want to clean up before the end of the year.
And is that why you think it hasn't been transferred? Because the loan doesn't actually start until they transfer the building.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the history, but yeah, the loan will go into effect upon closing,
Right.
which I think is now early January.
January 13th.
Another item we were asked to look at was the 10-county grant program. We've been going through that, and what we're essentially doing is trying to figure out what's been awarded compared to what they've been dispersed, and essentially trying to figure out if there's anybody out there that wasn't encumbered over time. They were awarded something, and maybe they're drawing on it halfway through. So we're trying to figure out what that number is, and that will be transferred to the NR 10-county grant fund, so that moving forward, I don't know the status of the program right now, if it's suspended, but if there was a budget in 2015, that should essentially go to anybody that receives an award in 2015. Historically, so if they get awarded in 2015 and they don't disperse it, the remaining funds will be moved to the NR fund, and then moving forward in time, any disbursements or draws that they need will come out of that fund until they've been awarded the whole amount. This is essentially a big cleanup process. Grant's been looking at it. We're looking at it from our angle, and I'm meeting with him Wednesday to kind of go through what I see and what he sees and get some more information on it. So I don't have a number for you today, but we are looking at the 10-county grant program to hopefully figure out what that payable may be. That was really all I had.
The whole NR fund that we did establish in 13 has helped, but
Mhm.
that was never done before, correct?
Yes.
So just from what I understand, so anybody that didn't, let's say they got $500,000 in 12, if they didn't get paid that full $500,000, it didn't get encumbered, correct? Then that, whatever portion that didn't get paid in 12 or 13, is getting paid out of, and for 2013, it was 10 million, I believe, at that point. So that's the difference in the numbers. You're thinking you should have all this money left, when in reality, since it wasn't encumbered.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially that appropriation has fallen off.
Right.
But the commitment from the city to the recipients still exists.
Correct.
These were awards that were approved. Somebody's bringing a new business to town, they're thinking the money's there. whether it was correctly encumbered or not, the city still has an obligation to them, and we're trying to figure out what that obligation is. And when we know that number, we'll report back.
So are you saying it should come from the 215 money or the money from the non-reverting?
The 215 should be essentially new awards.
Correct.
I don't think there was anything that was from, that's
If there's-
carried over from 14.
So everything's been spent
I
or
think-
paid
Yeah,
out?
everything, so, starting in 2013, when we got to the end of the year, whatever was left in that appropriation was transferred to the NR fund, and that's where those claims should come out of, not the new line item in MDF.
Right.
But before that, that wasn't
Yeah,
happening.
before that, that was
So-
not happening.
So, that, you know, any grant, so when Jackie went to go pay on a draw, it came from the new money and not anything from the old because the old wasn't encumbered.
So we're trying to wrap our heads around essentially what that amount is, and then we'll come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. Safe drive
What
home.
time is that meeting on Wednesday? 1. Okay.
Jane, you had something you want to bring up?
I'd like to bring before council, we had a request for a private donation for Lauren Hill, and us as a board decided that we could not give to a specific person because we'd have all people coming to us for donations. But now she has a cause, and she has started the Cure Starts Now. And I was wondering if, you know, it's going to benefit a lot of people, not one specific person. They actually had a telethon today on Channel 9 from noon to 7. Her goal is to reach $1 million by the end of the year. She is well over $500,000 right now. And I was going to see if this council would be willing to make a donation to the Cure Starts Now.
Just some FYI, I know the Community Foundation had sent some paperwork over, and they're actually requesting to do an endowment. They would like to see the city match their endowment of $100,000. And that money's coming out of the Community Foundation that we sent over, but their money that they want us to match is actually monies that they've earned through the years, so it's not coming from the city. So, in a sense, that's going to be helping this area for a long time because they want it to be endowed.
Right.
So, just some food for thought. You know, if you just want to wait until that comes up.
Well, that's completely separate, like you said. I talked to Denise on the phone today about that foundation grant, and they haven't got any specific guidelines set up on how it's going to be spent and where it's going to go, but it's in her honor. I'm asking for a donation for her cause. You know, the Cure Starts Now, to help her reach her goal in some small amount or whatever you guys want to throw out there to donate to this cause. Like I said, it's not for the individual, it's for Children's Hospital, which will reach and touch a lot of people.
What's board's pleasure?
Whatever you want to throw out there.
Say $500 council donations.
How much?
500.
Motion?
Make a motion to do $500 council donations for
The Cure Starts Now.
Cure Starts Now.
Yes, sir.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The American Legion yesterday had a fundraiser for it too.
Yeah.
It came off real well.
Thank you, board.
Okay, we got a long list of people tonight, so I'm gonna hold everybody to 5 minutes. Greg Towson, Special Olympics.
He's not here.
That's 5 minutes went fast. Mel Kramer, Dukes of Hazzard, would he?
Well, he's
No,
on
he's
there.
gone too.
Tom Palmer, Hyatt Palmer. Start the clock.
I think it's 15.
All right.
Starting now.
I appreciate it, Jackie.
I got the clock.
Okay, good.
This is the second time we've been in front of council. Obviously, there's been some health issues and things of that nature as we tried to present before. But what we're looking for tonight is not really just the education. Obviously, we're more than happy to answer questions. But further diving into the Riverfront and Entertainment District, it's something that took priority with our committee for a downtown partnership. At this time, we'd like to maybe discuss any questions that council, I know you have a packet from the last time. Did you receive it? Okay. You know, Eric's done really good work with working throughout the state of Indiana, trying to identify, you know, what type of impact this can actually make for a city. End of 2012 numbers, 22 cities have applied for 130 and approved 130 permits. They're averaging about 6 employees per business, let alone the foot traffic that it actually brings in. So you're looking at 800 employees just from that short time frame. It had only been in place for about 1.5 to 2 years. We think this is something that could really drive downtown and really start to get some decent restaurants, feed off the event center, and create some foot traffic. So at this time, you know, I'd love to answer any questions you may have, but we'd love to have a vote to move forward with zoning and redevelopment to go from there. Yeah, I'm pretty much waiting on the, let's go, start running. The only complaint I've heard from businesses is, what have you done? You know, you guys have been in place for 2 months, we haven't seen anything. Well, we're trying. That's why we're here tonight.
Well, we did bring it up to the redevelopment commission at their meeting, their last meeting. Their answer was to go ahead with the mapping, because they have to establish a redevelopment area district before we can do before city council can do the entertainment district.
Okay.
So that step has started, and they did ask for you to go ahead and prepare a map, right?
And I plan on having a map presented to them at their next regularly scheduled meeting. Once they get that approved, that's almost a prerequisite for what you're wanting to do.
Correct.
Then we can start addressing your request and move forward with that.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything, you go to zoning by the signs and things like that, you can get that started now. You don't need that residential part of the area established for that.
That's separate.
Yeah, about the signs and the lighting, that's completely separate. I guess what we're looking for is, before there's a lot of work done, we'd like to have the council's okay to move forward, that they have bought in, that we're not just spinning our wheels. Is that something that's fair enough?
Got 3 council people there. What's council's?
Make a motion to move on.
I don't think we should make a motion. I think we should, because like you said, steps have to be taken before it's brought back before council.
That's just that one issue. They want approval to move forward. Have a motion on the floor, have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Okay.
Thank you.
Move ahead on signs and what else?
The 2 other issues we're working on is signage and with the lighting. I know Mel's been working on the lighting. We're going to work with him, try to get something proposed and come forward. Mike and I have a meeting on Wednesday, so we'll try to move forward as quickly as we can.
Sounds good.
We appreciate it.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
Pat Crowder, Winter Wonderland Ice Rink.
As you all know, the line item in the budget for the Winter Wonderland Ice Rink is $110,000. The contract this year is for $81,900. That leaves a remainder of $28,100. Now, what we have done in the past is take that remainder, and that has been transferred to our Winter Wonderland, to our Winter Wonderland fund, out of which we pay all our salaries for our ice guards and our manager. We've done that in the past. I was not sure what you were comfortable with us doing this year. Just to give you a little historical perspective on this, in 2013, the allocation, the difference between the line item and the rink contract was $36,300. That was transferred to us. We used $5,542 for the 2012-2013 shortfall. And these shortfalls are basically the salaries that we're paying the ice guards. Last year, attendance was not great. The weather was horrible. Our shortfall for the 2013-2014 season was $18,188. This year, right now, we have remaining in that fund $12,569.95. Should that be enough to subsidize those salaries this year? I'm hoping so. So far, the attendance has been very good. However, I won't know that till January. My concern is that remainder, the money that is remaining in the line item for this year will not transfer to next year. So how would you like us to handle this? Would you like to give us the remainder of what is in that fund for this year, which is $28,100? We keep an accounting of all this to the penny, what we're using to pay our ice guards. Would you want us to transfer all that now, or do we wait till next year and then come, and then we would be pulling on the line item from next year?
Anything on board?
I think you should go ahead and keep it and use it, and what's left over, roll over, like,
Because she's always brought us a,
Right.
calculation of everything, so I don't
Right.
think there's any problem in doing that. Jackie, you have any problem with that?
Just giving it to them? No.
Anything else on board? Entertain a motion.
I move that Pat retain the money to pay her expenses.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Thank you very much, and we will continue to give you an accurate accounting. And since hopefully I'm not over my 5 minutes yet, I just want to thank the council and the mayor and everyone for being so helpful with Winter Wonderland, and also the utilities and Civil City, the police, fire, everyone. I have to say that when we do an activity here in this community, the cooperation I get from anyone and everyone associated with the city is just absolutely wonderful. So it's a pleasure to do activities here in town. Thank you so much.
Got a pretty good group of people, don't we? Okay, Mike Clark, Waterview Concrete Park.
Thank you, Your Honor. In the last meeting packet, there was a subdivision replat included in the packet. If you look at it, you'll see lots number 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7. The replat where lots 6 and 7 are used to be lots 3 and 4. That line that separates the two has moved a little bit, so you do away with the two lots. It doesn't, the only thing changing is the configuration of those two lots. It has gone through the Plan Commission. They've certified it, forwarded this on to this board with a recommendation to approve.
Anything on board?
I move that we approve it.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Mike Clark, zoning mapping amendment in order.
Okay, in this packet, there was a petition to amend the zoning map. Petition number 01-2014. This is a small area right behind United Dairy Farmers. You'll see a yellow highlighted area. The existing zoning boundary was, I believe, 500 feet off the center line of US 50, so it was pretty much a straight line. The one parcel has a radius or a curved property line. Someone's looking at that property for potential development, and they want that entire lot in the business zoning district. So what they have petitioned for is to remove that small area out of the R1 zoning district and move it into the Lawrenceburg Business Zoning District. And this again has gone through planning and zoning. The Plan Commission has certified this zoning map amendment and forwarded on a favorable recommendation to this board.
Favorable recommendation, that includes the ordinance, correct?
Yes.
So we need more than just favorable rec.
Well, it's to approve both the zoning map amendment and the ordinance to do that.
Okay. Well, we will have to read the ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ordinance number 28, 2014.
And just so you know, all these dots on here, those are degree
Those are
marks?
degrees, yeah.
Okay, you know that. All right.
I knew that because I put them on there.
Oh.
It's hard to make a little bitty degree thing. Yeah, I did that because otherwise it was, there's no key on the computer for that.
There is, it's under your, there is, but you just, yeah.
Okay,
It's like Alt 0137 or something.
I couldn't find it. It's an ordinance to amend the zoning maps for the city of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and providing for the administration, enforcement, and amendment thereof in accordance with the provisions of Indiana Code 36-7-4-600.
Yes.
Et sec. Laws of Indiana as amended, and for the repeal of all zoning amps in conflict herewith. Whereas the Indiana legislature, through Indiana Code 36-7-4 et sec, as amended, empowers the city of Lawrenceburg to amend zoning maps to control and conform with zoning ordinances on land use within its jurisdictional boundaries, and to provide for the administration, enforcement, and amendment thereof. And whereas, the Lawrenceburg Planning Commission has held a public hearing on the petition for adoption of an amendment of the zoning maps, a new zoning ordinance, and repeal of all ordinances and maps in conflict therewith. And whereas the Lawrenceburg City Council has given notice of its intention to consider this matter, and whereas the Lawrenceburg City Council has considered the recommendation of the Planning Commission and deem it necessary for the purpose of promoting the health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the city to enact such changes in the zoning maps. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, that the existing zoning maps be amended and the same are hereby repealed and replaced with the following. The following description should be taken from Residential 1 and put into the B District. Situated in the city of Lawrenceburg in Section 21, Township 5 North, Range 1 West, in Lawrenceburg Township, Dearborn County, Indiana, and being more particularly described as follows. Commencing at an existing stone at the northwest corner of said Section 21, thence along the north line of said Section 21, south 89 degrees, 59 feet, 12 inches east.
It's actually minutes and seconds. 89 degrees,
Okay.
59 minutes,
It's
12 seconds.
Okay,
east.
thank you.
Mhm.
East, 4,667.78 feet to the center of Wolf Run, passing existing iron rebars at 825 feet and 4,467.78 feet, thence leaving the north line of Section 21 and along the center of Wolf Run, south 3 degrees, 34 minutes and 31 seconds west, 322.08 feet to an existing iron rebar, thence leaving the center of Wolf Run, north 51 degrees, 13 minutes, 10 seconds west, 187.42 feet to an existing iron rebar, thence along a curve to the right, having an arc distance of 129.17 feet, a radius of 180 feet, and a chord bearing south 13 degrees, 36 minutes, 16 seconds west, 126.41 feet, thence north 55 degrees, 50 minutes, 17 seconds west, 60 feet to the westerly corner of Lighthouse Drive East, thence along a curve to the left, having an arc distance of 196.87 feet, a radius of 120 feet, and a chord bearing north 12 degrees, 50 minutes, 16 seconds west, 175.52 feet to an existing iron rebar. Then south 77 degrees, 30 minutes, 19 seconds west, 120.60 feet to an existing iron rebar. Then south 71 degrees, 34 minutes, 20 seconds west, 0.17 feet to the true point of beginning of the property herein described. Then south 39 degrees, 12 minutes, 7 seconds west, 249.03 feet. Thence north 10 degrees, 46 minutes, 24 seconds east, 103.35 feet to an existing iron rebar. Thence north 38 degrees, 36 minutes 35 seconds, east 79.24 feet to an existing iron rebar, thence north 71 degrees, 34 minutes, 20 seconds east, 93.43 feet to the point of beginning, containing 0.1869 acres of land more or less, and being subject to any easements or restrictions of record. Passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, this 15th day of December, 2014.
Did you read along with her? She got them all right. That's one of the things that I didn't have a chance to do.
I double-checked it.
Well, I always read it to somebody and they,
Oh.
you know, but you followed through. I lost in between there, but that's good. Just so we have it.
long lead in.
Thank you.
Okay. I was taking your name in vain the other day.
What if you do, somebody knocks that rebar a couple seconds to the south?
We cuss.
Most approved reading, ordinance number 28, 2014.
I'll move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to suspend the rules, reading ordinance number 28.
I don't think we can. Didn't we say that?
Do I have a quorum?
I don't, I think you have to,
Unanimous?
yeah.
Okay.
I think it has to be by,
Unanimous?
it's the council-elect. I think we can approve the first reading,
Right.
but we can't go any further.
Okay.
Have to wait till the next council. But we'll make sure it's on there.
Jane Pope, Loan Committee meeting.
That's already been taken care of. A loan committee meeting has been scheduled for the 17th, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Is that an executive session or a
Just a regular meeting.
regular loan committee?
And actually do have, I have,
4:45.
but I've asked Linkmeyer to be there. I've asked, Poppy to be there. He paid off one of his loans, so he's
Good.
coming. I also did ask Mr. Davis. He had some requests, Greg Davis, so, there's at least 3 coming. But Bill told me tonight he might have a problem being there.
I can probably be there for maybe 45 minutes. I have something going on.
So do you have any idea whether Mike or Aaron will be there? Or?
I know they're both sick. I don't know by Wednesday how they'll be.
All right, well, I mean, I just didn't want those people to show up and us not be able to have a meeting, but hopefully, maybe we can get some idea by Wednesday if they're gonna come. I can call them if they're not gonna be able to make it. You're gonna be able to be here?
I'll be here at about 6 o'clock, right?
It's scheduled for 5, isn't it?
It's 4:45.
4:45.
I did put it 4:45 because
It is 4:45?
4:45.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it was 5, it'd have been a half an hour.
Yeah.
Okay,
I just
Jackie,
didn't know.
Dearborn County Foundation grant.
No, I know, I probably.
Okay. Let's
Uh,
see, it's here.
What ordinance does she has?
I've got an ordinance too, but we'll
Okay.
do the grant. That's fine. The foundation, it's, Community Grant Program Phase 2. It's the Lauren Hill Make a Difference Fund of the Dearborn Community Foundation. The requested amount is $100,000. They recommend $100,000 to support the Lauren Hill Make a Difference Fund of DCF. So I just need a motion to approve or dis-
Jackie?
Huh?
Okay. I thought, is there not,
What?
I thought they also had this in here. Did you not have something in here as far as their agreements?
That should have been the last meeting. Oh, no.
We didn't
That's
have a
right.
quorum.
That's right. I forgot. I don't know that I have it here. It might still be over there.
I'm sorry, I mean, if you wanna go ahead with that, that's something new, right? That's something new
this
for
is
this year.
new.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do this one first.
All right.
Okay, a motion for the first one.
Again, just like I explained before, I know we're matching their 100,000, so there'll be $200,000 endowment.
No, this is just to approve $100,000 from the foundation.
The grant
Yeah.
the money is actually coming from the foundation.
Yeah.
It's already within the foundation that they're putting with their $100,000.
This doesn't have anything to do with us matching anything, Bill.
This is the Lauren Hill, yeah. We're actually,
The monies that we gave them.
It's already their
matching,
money.
right?
Here's that one.
It's in their,
right, so it's gonna be a $200,000 endowment, is what I'm saying.
Okay,
correct.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yes, that's good.
but it was money that was already budgeted and in their hands, and they wanted a grant for that foundation that they created, or, yes.
That's a good cause. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, so this is passed.
Yeah, I got an ordinance. It's really just, moving money around. 27, no, because this one was supposed to go first.
27.
This is an ordinance to transfer and appropriate funds. What it is, folks, is we need more money in services and consultants, and so I've put an amount over there, and we've got 5 places where we're reducing other line items to make that money. It's not any additional money, I'm just moving it around, but I need your approval, so I can pay claims, bills that I got over there.
So you're transferring within the budget.
Yes, ma'am. It's an ordinance to transfer and appropriate funds. Section 1, that there is a transfer and appropriation of funds to take care of the following expenditures by reduction and additions as needed to enable us to pay bills and to make these lines balance. Additions, 001-310, services and consultants out of MDF, excuse me, $100,000. And reductions, it's 001-4 out of MDF, 001-417, housing grants, 19,000, 463 cell phones, 25,000, 468 arbitration costs, 20,000, 419 Chamber of Commerce, 26,000, and 467 recycling, 10,000, which makes the 100,000 for reductions that I need in the additions.
Section 2.
Oh, I'm sorry, Section 2, that the Common Council determines the transfers and appropriation of funds is necessary to meet expenditures. Section 3, that this ordinance shall be in full force and effective after its passage and approval by the Common Council, passed by the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, Indiana, this 15th day of December, 2014.
Now, this Chamber of Commerce, the only question I had, wasn't there some kind of membership fee? Is that what that is, or did we already
Yeah,
pay
but
them?
we had Chamber of Commerce, I think, in 2 spots.
Okay,
But there was no money used out of this, and we've already paid everything we were supposed to pay.
Okay.
So I could use all of that.
Okay, motion to approve first reading ordinance number 27, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
do we wait till next meeting? We gotta wait, well, we can do it on the 22nd.
I was gonna say, yeah. There will be a meeting next Monday, the 22nd, at 5 o'clock. We've got 2 ordinances to consider and an additional appropriation for utilities.
What's the other ordinance, Jack? Oh, I guess.
The one that the 28, the zoning maps,
Okay, so we can do 27, 28, and then the.
and then the additional, yeah.
Okay.
Will we have the information of the additional appropriations?
Yeah, it wasn't in this packet. I thought it was, maybe
Oh,
not.
okay, you're following up with the second and third readings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's an additional, separate, something new that I had to advertise.
Which is,
If it wasn't in the packets, I will
I
get
got
the-
ordinance number 28 and 27.
Yeah, this had to do with the appropriations for utility.
Yeah.
I didn't see it either, Jack.
Okay, well, I will get a copy to all of you.
Thank you.
I guess I thought I put it in the packet, Jane.
Okay, Leslie Votel, 911 Dearborn County and local.
Okay, this was brought up last meeting. The county was seeking monies for the 911. I guess just to give you a little back history, and this is from an email sent to us back in July from Terry Randall. The county took over dispatching City of Lawrenceburg Police several years ago. At that time, the county did this for no cost. About 7 years ago, the file shows that the county sent a letter to the City of Lawrenceburg stating they can no longer continue dispatching police for free due to additional staffing needed and volume of calls. At the time, the county was going to cease dispatch if we could not come to terms for some financial assistance. However, like many things, nothing ever got resolved. The county never pursued any further. Today, we receive 9/11 fees from the state, but it doesn't come anywhere close to covering the cost of staffing of the dispatch center. Those fees are specifically for fire and EMS emergencies. They are not earmarked to cover police dispatch. I think everyone agrees it makes sense for the county to continue to do Lawrenceburg City Police Dispatch. I believe your police chief agrees this is a service he does not wish to bring in-house at the police office. Is that true? I don't know. I mean, Greendale does their own, right?
Right, Greendale does their own. Aurora used to do their own. We used to do our own. And then it went to us being with the county. And then now Aurora has since cut theirs because of budget issues. And they are now being charged by the county a fee a year.
An annual fee. I believe they're paying $45,000.
Correct. So yes, this is something that was brought up. He sits on the 911 board, so I'm not real sure what the agreement was. But there is some issues that probably needs to be discussed.
Well,
We just, maybe table this and.
I said, with all this said, the county's beginning to charge a reasonable fee to each municipality. Greendale still does their own. The fee is based on the actual number of calls dispatched to that municipality and labor expense, then prorated across the group. The expense for 2015 would be $60,000 for the city of Lawrenceburg. This number is less than the fee that the county proposed for these services several years ago, but the county's goal is simply to help offset the cost. City of Aurora is paying $45,000 annually, and interlocal is already executed. Dillsboro is paying $5,000. St. Leon, West Harrison, and Morse are paying $2,500. In 2013, 911 Center fielded 338,810 emergency phone calls. Approximately 6,000 of those calls were dispatched to the City of Lawrenceburg Police. Details on how we calculated the cost is attached. Basically, they just looked to see, if we went straight with a straight 6,000 calls, they would be looking at a $90,000 fee.
Mention in there that the city of Lawrenceburg gives them millions of dollars to buy new equipment.
Yeah.
Also, we have a hard time monitoring our utility man too.
Correct.
It's like, this is not coming from me. I'm just trying to give you some background on why they're doing this. So what I received was they asked to just do 60,000 going on, and and it looks like it would be due before April 1st of 2015. There's an alternative interlocal also asking for money back from the partial year in 14, and then also for 15. So I am sorry. This has been definitely on my desk for a while. It was something that when we met with the county on some other issues, they brought it up, and so I wanted to make sure at least it's in front of you guys. If you want to do a motion to table it so you can review it and we can bring it up the first meeting in January, that's fine.
I'd like to table it. I'd actually like to sit down and chat with the police and fire and EMS.
Utility too, they don't know utility.
Yeah, well, that's been a problem for a long time.
So maybe some other considerations need to go into this, but don't shoot the messenger us.
No. It's just, they've come up with this and they gave a copy to all of us at one time, and then all of a sudden that copy disappeared and that never happened and it wasn't supposed to come out. And now all of a sudden they're trying to go another route instead of coming to us. And I'd like to sit down and talk.
I was the fire department, they stopped the dispatch, and I said then, this is a bad thing to do. Now it's come back to haunt us.
Correct.
So yeah, motion.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
You didn't ever go back to Jackie. She has the, we have the local or the yearly agreement with the Dearborn County Foundation.
Oh, the foundation? I don't have the one that,
We don't have that, Leslie.
I was gonna say, Leslie, that's something you've got and the rest of us don't.
I'm almost positive it was in
think
the
I know what
packets
you're
last
talking
time.
about. Yeah.
Was the last packet?
Yeah, it was in the last packet.
I thought I picked all that up too.
Yep. And I don't know why it's got February 19th of 2014 at the top.
Can I see it a minute?
Yeah, these are the two agreements.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
One's the grant agreement for the Lawrenceburg Community Grant Program for 15, and the other one's the annual agreement for the Tremaine Memorial
Scholarships,
Scholarship.
yeah.
I don't have it, and I don't recall having it, or I would have read it.
Well, that's the first packet.
Yeah, it was in.
It's in the first packet.
I'm looking at my first packet, Mayor.
Nobody showed up.
The first one, the annual agreement, yeah, I don't think anything's changed.
No, they're the same as they were before.
Yeah.
It's just that the Board of Accounts says we have to get a new agreement each year.
And so, this says, and so this should be 15, though.
What?
We have to pay it by no later than February 15th of 2014. I think he means 15 there.
Well, he'll be sending me a letter to get it.
I mean, nothing's changed.
I understand. I don't need a copy of it. I didn't get a copy of it, but I know what you're talking about, and I know nothing's changed, and
It's our yearly
we do it
agreements that we
yearly to
always
year,
do.
so I'm fine.
Okay, go ahead and read the ordinance.
We don't
not
need to
an
do an
ordinance.
ordinance, we just have to.
They just have a
They just have to
motion.
motion to, enter, for you to enter into the agreements.
Yeah, approve.
Yeah, it says the only thing's changed is dates.
Turn a motion.
Entertain a motion to move forward, enter into the agreement with Dearborn Community Foundation.
Your second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And then a separate one for the Memorial Scholarship.
Tremaine.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Now, there is, on page 3, there is a blank. Just want to make sure, Jackie, do you know how much it is that we,
Whatever was in the budget, the scholarships is $400.
400,000?
I'm sorry, 400,000, yeah.
But
I'm
the-
not sure what the amount
What's that?
for the foundation is.
Whatever it was in our budget, we'll fill that number in, whatever it
yeah.
is in our budget.
And I know mine had
Can I just
the,
briefly look at it?
Leslie, mine had the numbers in them, I thought.
Okay, well, here's the one for the actual grants. There.
Did we, I thought we put $1 million
Looking at them.
in the
I
budget.
I don't remember it, I don't have my budget book with me.
Do you have copies of those with you? No?
Me, no.
Jerry, you got your copies?
Yeah.
Just so we have an original for both of us. It's not a big deal, I guess. We'll just give those the originals and take a copy. All right, we're good.
Here's Bill's copies.
In our ordinance review.
What time is it? After 8. These, we've already previously gone over a lot of these. Jackie and I, after the meeting, the marathon meeting where we had all the changes to our chapter 36 and our ordinances is on the, in our funds. I can bring these back to you in January if you'd like to table them with the amount of things we have on the agenda tonight.
I make a motion to table.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
County Animal Control Ordinance.
During 2014, and I'm not sure exactly when, the county adopted a new animal control ordinance. The reason I put it in your packets last time was for you to be able to review it. There's also an interlocal attached or included. Here it is. The interlocal is between the county, Dillsboro, Morrisville, St. Leon, West Harrison, and the cities of Aurora and Lawrenceburg. Greendale has opted out of the interlocal agreement, and there is provision for them to do that, in the ordinance. I have not had a chance, and maybe setting up a committee to review this might be a good idea, just because, I have not had a chance to look through our ordinance and compare it to this ordinance. Mr. Cook is pretty up on all the animal ordinances, and I did mention that to him the last time we were here. But the reason all of this is in there, a copy of their statute and then the interlocal is for your consideration. I don't know if you're ready to address that tonight, or we could look at that at the next meeting. This is something else the county wanted to see whether or not, he has been, the county attorney has asked me about it, whether or not we plan to do it or opt out. If we opt out, that means that they don't provide the service, and they're not charging us for any animal control services, so it doesn't make any sense to opt out.
I read most of it, if not all of it, and it follows basically our guidelines.
I thought so too, but like I said, I hadn't actually put ours next to it and, compared it, but,
Want to bring it back?
I can bring, like I said, we are bound by it right now, regardless of whether we, this is they have the home rule power to do that, and they have adopted it, so, and if we use their services, then but there's no reason not to enter into the interlocal, just to say we're opting in and please provide us the services, so.
Their services are, you catch the animals and we'll come get them?
I don't know.
They don't do that, though.
Well, that's what they
I mean, they say, they will come and quarantine, but you call them, they really don't come.
I know.
A couple days later, they might.
Yeah.
Well,
You want to table this, or how you want to proceed?
however you guys want to proceed, that's up to you. I don't see any reason not to go ahead and enter into the interlocal, but we can wait to get a full board here if you want.
I think Carl's our animal.
I like to read that one. You just need to go.
You get more than me do.
It's pretty thick.
Okay. I'll get a copy of it to Mr. Fryman, and then we'll bring it back on January 5th.
My copy.
And when we have our next meeting, we have Connie put in the packets what we need to bring back with us. Like, for example, this county ordinance.
I thought she did.
And the interlocal agreements. Everything's in the packet that should be in the packet I brought both packets. But that's what I'm saying, when we come back, all the stuff that we've been tabled, that we know what to bring back.
Sure. I can make a list for you, because I bring it back, so I'll make a list to make sure Connie has that on there. So we're also, I guess we need a motion to table that.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
It is the 5th, isn't it? Is that our meeting? Our first meeting in January?
It is, yes.
Yes. Owen's down here saying
Okay,
yes.
finally, I'm not gonna say these out loud, but I'm gonna hand you guys a list of, these are ones that our office has been reviewing. We just want approval to proceed with small claims or civil suit if we need to.
It's on concrete claims?
Yes. Just to give you an update, I have approximately, there were 5 cases that the court dismissed because we couldn't get service, five people we couldn't find. It was dismissal without prejudice, so if we were able to find an address for them. It was a little funny, I don't remember the name now, but we served a guy with a letter, and it was a Mark Webster, I think. And that's a pretty common name, I guess, but he had no idea it was not him. He was paying utilities, but it wasn't, so anyway, I did write a letter right back to him and apologize for it, but there were 5 that were dismissed by the court. There are a couple more through circuit court that have come, but basically they're telling us we need to do something. One of those is Mr. Judy's case, so. So we definitely will need to address those at our next meeting as well. So, But these are just to go ahead and start the first part of the suit, which is small claims or the civil suit.
I got a question. May be an issue with SOL.
Statute of limitations. Basically, on an account, we have 6 years. On a contract, we have 10 years.
So that has expired, hasn't it?
But it is
Can't move.
it is a defense. It's something that they have to bring, you know, I mean, it's not something we would put in there. It's just it's a defense the defendant would have to bring to the court. No,
I'm good.
Did you see
Do
it?
you want here?
No, I ain't
No.
seen it yet.
do you need to see him?
Sharon needs to see it when you're done.
Take a quick glance at it.
Oh, just to make sure you're
There you
not
go.
related to someone on there.
You know what I mean?
Thank you, my dear.
What do you want to do?
Let me take a quick look again.
So,
Good.
so
Make a
I
motion to proceed.
proceed with those claims.
Motion to proceed, second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
On this, I'm sorry, to back up on that animal control ordinance, do you want me to bring a resolution next time, or do you want to wait for the resolution until the second meeting?
Well, our animal guy's gonna check it out.
That's ask
Maybe
Mr.
get with-
Controller here.
Get with Carl and
Okay,
see what he's got, kind of feedback.
sorry, I
he's
just
got.
had to, okay, just want to make sure.
All pretty good, it's good.
With those cats.
Okay, old business, let's vote on Aurora sewer easements.
This was also an issue that was brought to our redevelopment last Monday. In the sewer project whereby the city gave, we grant monies, how much was that?
4 mil.
$4.5 million, wasn't it?
They have easement documents ready for their sewer main project going from Aurora to the treatment plant. They said these are easements that are through property held by the city of Lawrenceburg and the Lawrenceburg Redevelopment Commission. Will Lawrenceburg be requiring compensation for these easements, or might you be willing to grant them without compensation, helping us stay within budget on this project? This is from Mr. Stratman, the attorney for Aurora. The appraisals for the easements for the one for the city is $3,745, and the other one was $1,975 for redevelopment. Redevelopment asked for a definitive map before they would vote on it, so.
I think that's it. I don't think it was opposed to granting the easements. They don't have a final picture yet. We want to see exactly what it's
Most of this land we'll never use.
So,
part of it, they're going around the parking lot.
ODOTs.
No. We just want to be able to see exactly what.
okay, so, is that something you guys are gonna arrange then, or?
We can.
I don't think they have a final. That's what I was told.
Mike, at our last Dearborn County Regional Sewer District meeting, I hope I got that right, it's only been one. We talked about that, and I made them aware of the redevelopment's recommendation that they pinpoint those easements. And from a utility standpoint, I think that's requisite.
Okay. Well, we can also table this, and, once staff is good with what they're talking about, then I can bring it back to them.
Entertain on the table.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Lastly, county tax appeal.
We had some previous discussions on this county tax appeal. I don't think that the county wants us to take any action tonight, but they wanted me to communicate to you all for, thank you for even having them. We'll obviously have to address this at some point, but it's not tonight, so. I would ask that also this be tabled.
Any motion table?
I move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, comments from the audience. I'm gonna hold you to 2 minutes.
I can do it.
I know you can.
Two things, Mayor, and council. Number one is that the parking gentleman earlier made some really good points about problems. And I think as living downtown, we see it a lot. We had a function on Saturday where we had Santa Claus at the old bank across from the Main Street office. And we were there Friday night. It was great because there were no events in the convention center. Saturday afternoon, you know, because you were there for 3 hours yourself. But Saturday night, nobody could get in there, and some of the kids came in crying late because they couldn't find a parking place. And well, we told them we're going to do it again next Friday and Saturday, but they couldn't get in there Saturday night, and we went till 8 o'clock. So it was one event fighting another event, but the downtown parking issue. So I looked into it, and he's right. There was 32 people parked in the garage on Saturday night. That's it. And so that was a
So
big
those
problem.
people could have parked in the garage as well?
Well, but they don't, it was really set up for the locals to come see Santa Claus with their kids, Leslie. So, yeah, anyway. The second issue is, I just want to say thank you to the city and for people over there, Carl in particular, as a voter from downtown, I live downtown, we own our property downtown. We maintain our property meticulously. When something goes wrong, we get it fixed. We're proud of it, and we have dignity in where we live. And I'm glad to see that the issues of danger are going to be handled, but hopefully it'll go beyond the point of danger, where people will have the same pride that some of us others have in our downtown, where we live and eat and everything else. So that's it, and thank you. It's under 2 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since Carl's come on board, he's done a great job with this, he has. I mean, he takes a lot of flack, but he does a good job. That's the last one, pat you on the back.
Name, please.
Brad Massey, Civil City Foreman. I just want to set the record straight and apologize to Mr. Olson, or Clausen. For the record, the truck cost $280,582.14. We spoke this morning. The rumor is it's going for $500,000.
What is?
The garbage truck that I bought, it did not come out of Mr. Lawson's budget, so
How much did it cost?
$280,582.14.
Don't know how much money a truck saves.
That truck is saving you $212,000 a year.
Paid for itself, 2 years.
Because I lost a man April 1st. He went to the fire department. We put the truck in service April 1st, and it's been in service ever since.
How much is saved on injuries, fuel, and time?
I've had no workers' comp injuries except for, I've got one coming up now, but he's in a different truck. Fuel is no problem because we're going 2 miles up the road. We're going to go through a set of tires this year, but that's normal.
It's not forever spending, it's forever spending.
Right.
I appreciate it. My point in taking issue with that was in dealing with the electrical department, I just didn't see any reason or justification to interject an expense that is completely out of my control.
Right. And like I said, I apologize for the blame being put on you.
And you had nothing to do with that, but it just was apropos.
Right. Like I said, I apologized to him this morning and told him the accurate account and how much it was.
Truck has done what it's supposed to do. It saved us money.
He works in electric, we work in garbage, we know stuff. I'm sure I don't know nothing he does, so that's his business and my business, so. Thank you.
Mayor, I do have a question concerning garbage.
Go ahead.
I noticed, not on the last couple of reports, but we still pay Rumpke.
You got rid of your garbage.
No, that's all your event center garbage.
Event center, they take, waste up there too,
No,
Those are the big, what are they, roll-offs?
So what goes to Rumpke?
nothing. We ain't been to Rumpke. We had one truck go Friday. That was it.
Some of those Rumpke bills you see are like portalettes and
The $9,000 one you're probably speaking of was for the Fall Fest portalettes.
Okay, so our garbage is going up to
That's why,
Hardentown.
yes. It runs you $15,000 to $18,000 a month.
So we no longer go to Rumpke
No,
dump.
I can have guys back in 10 minutes.
Unless it's emergency, sometimes you might go, but it's very often.
The only time it'd be necessary is on, I mean, they're open holidays till noon. My guys are gone by 9:30. The only thing I could see it be an emergency was if a compactor was full at the boat convention center, running it up middle of the night. But I've got extras at the landfill where I can swap them in and out. I can have them back online in 5 minutes.
They cut the garbage almost in half.
Right, I mean, we used to go through tires, have blowouts. We don't even have it anymore. I mean, we're just going the best way. We're cutting, the fuel bill is half. The tires we're going through 2 sets a year now instead of going through 5 maybe. I mean,
Injury-free.
right.
We used to have injuries all the time.
Like with the inclement weather coming up, nobody's out in it, but maybe an hour or so.
What it cut your time down, pickup time?
I can have a guy in the back, I've got a guy doing 2 jobs now that 3 people used to do. He drives the front loader for 4 hours in the morning and then does the rear loader for 2 hours, and he's back to work at 10:30.
Nice job. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Okay, any more comments from the audience? Oh, come on, someone else talk.
Are you
Shut. Do you know what time it is?
That's all right, it's 9 o'clock yet, we'll 2:39. Okay, we got 2 sets of claims to review and discuss claims board approval.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second set.
I'll move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Here, sign these,
You want
please.
to stay a little longer?
No.
Motion adjourned. So moved. Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Mike. Before you do that,
I know what happens when we get old.
Oh, okay, thank you.
We're too young to be old.
I'm here. I'm working.
Fine, how are you? Good.
Bill, will you pass that ink pen when I sign? I just put mine in there and I don't want to
Okay.
take it out.
Don't forget, we're meeting on the 27th.
We have,
Okay.
4:45.